How we doing, everybody? Well, I know how we're doing. We just lost. So thank you very much. I keep, this something you say. How are we doing, everybody? And we just lost, so we're not doing great right now. So thank you very much for joining us here for the Raven Sports Podcast. All right, thank you very much for joining us here for the Raven Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content here. Obviously, we're going to talk about the crappy finish here at the end. Steelers, typical Ravens Steelers game, no question about it. Typical Ravens Steelers finish and end of what I like that. A couple of business things I do want to go over before we start here. So, a couple of notes at the bottom of the screen I want to go over with everybody. Raven Sports shopping website rebrand. So, like I said a few weeks ago, we're going to go ahead, retool it. We kind of do this like at Super Bowl time a lot of the time. So, we're going to do a stream for that on the 6th. The Friday before the Super Bowl, we're going to give you a look at the new look of the website and everything, ravensports.company.site. We're going to do a stream for that as well. Genesis Notary Services, if you know, in Winchester, Virginia. So definitely check that out. We're going to have a New Year's Day live stream for Genesis Notary Services. And this is going to be the first one. We're going to have the Raven Sports audience on there. So if you're some of you that are football fans or baseball fans, it's like, what is he talking about with notary stuff? We're going to talk all about that. I talk about that here at the beginning of the football streams, but then we're going to have that as well. An instant reaction Super Bowl pre and post. So we're going to be on before the game, a little bit before the game. We're right around 3-4 o'clock. And then we're going to be on post game and later in the day as well. So definitely that's going to be something that we're going to do as well for the Raven Sports pre and post game to go ahead and check that out as well. Also, too, doesn't look like it right now, but we may change that if we get the Ravens in the Super Bowl this year. We may be streaming the whole time for whatever to go ahead and check that out. If we can get the Ravens to win the Super Bowl, doesn't look like doesn't look good today. as far as that goes with the result that we just had. So thank you for your patience with all that today. All right. 27-22. You do a lot here, like Ravery Sports. We talk about all the stuff I was just talking about as far as the business and all that other stuff. But this week is Steelers week. This is the week what I look forward to as Steelers as a Raven fan. More, there's business, there's content creation, there's research, there's emails, there's website, there's all those things. But for me, it's definitely Ravens and Steelers. So it really sucks like when we get the result we just had, even though the game itself was phenomenal. So what happened in the game? Once vaunted running game was trying to return to form. Keaton Mitchell went out during the game, so I didn't hear the presser, so I know exactly what happened with Keaton Mitchell. But it was a good, solid group effort. Lamar even got a TD running the ball. Looked a little more like they were trying to run the ball more today, from what I saw. Henry had the kind of bottled up, but then he had that big run late in the game. That's kind of what he does. Keaton Mitchell had a good day, even though he went out with the injury as well. So they're already out. Justice Hill, Shannon Lee got to play more today. So they're carrying 4, and they needed them as well. It doesn't look the same. I think the offensive line push just doesn't allow it. However, encouraged by that. Encouraged by the fact at least that looked more like a Ravens football team running the ball as well. Lamar hasn't reached his MVP form. I was at least a little more encouraged today. He did look more willing to run, more with that Lamar running the football. He did have the one rushing TD. Finally, he gets in. I think he had 2 TD passes today. I think, was it 2 TD or was it 1? I think it might have been 1. So he had one. I'm sorry. He had 1 TD pass. He should have had 2 with that garbage called back with Isaiah Likely. That was just complete garbage. But the 2 TD pass, clear he's been playing through injury, yet he's finally starting to look heavier, look a bit more like Lamar. Not quite there, but just starting to get there. The TD pass to Likely, that was just complete garbage. He's in at that point. It's like, well, his foot and the moves, and are you kidding me? The ball was knocked out of his hands after he crossed the plane. So that was just garbage, flat out garbage call. That was a TD that they should have had that wasn't called as well. But what they stated on the broadcast and everything, football move, he didn't complete that looked like a complete catch to me, you know. Unbelievable. That cost him the football game right there. Defense played better, I thought, than the stat sheet showed as well today. Rodgers made several big-time throws. Metcalf made some big-time catches, extremely tough catches. I thought the coverage was good today. In general, I thought like Metcalf just really made some really tough, difficult catches. Metcalf 7 for 428. He had bodies on him all day long as well. Calvin Austin had the one big catch. Jalen Warren had the one catch. They really didn't run the ball well. Again, Pittsburgh only had 415 yards, Gainwell. So the Ravens did a good job of stopping the run in this one. And I thought the offensive stuff that they got, they were just really good catches. Spartacus, as you call it, as he's known in some circles. Metcalf just made some really tough catches. Aaron made some really good throws. I would say that was probably the best Aaron has looked to me all season long. I don't think we've seen Aaron look better than he did today. I thought Aaron really, really was solid. I would say the reason was, and I'm going to kind of go to the next, the lack of pass rush. And I'm back to that again. The lack of pass rush is clearly evident. The Ravens have a low total of sacks. I think they said it was like 18 or 19 total during the game. Mike Green, just kind of the same. Like just he's getting some heat and pressure, but good quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers are going to get that ball away and be able to score. and so that's a thing. I think like they don't have great receivers, but again, Metcalf had the great day, but the lack of pass rush was evident. I thought the secondary was fine. Some of those catches, I mean, they were making was just unbelievable. I thought, but I'm not too angry with the D today as well. It was just, I thought it was just really good stuff by Aaron Rodgers. This was another classic. We know Pittsburgh pulling out the hard-fought, razor-thin victory. Fits perfectly in this rivalry. Every inch mattered. This is the most intense, evenly matched battle in the NFL. This is still a great rivalry. I know for some of you, like, it's not the same. And in some ways, it's not the same. Things evolve. But I got to tell you, that was what I remembered as well. 27-22, down to the last drive. We didn't know the result till the end of the day. Fantastic stuff by both sides. Patrick Queen, I thought, was very heroic during this game. He was one out of the game with an injury, just laying on the side. I think he's definitely playing with a hip. Came back in the game late. I thought that was huge. The Ravens clearly, though, the Isaiah Likely catch, that was bad. Couple calls, but when you have games like this close to the vest, everything matters. When you have this type of result. And could this be the last time we see Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh go against each other in M&T Bank? These are the two longest tenured coaches in the National Football League. Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh. This could be the last time. Steeler fans are really getting tired of Mike Tomlin. There are some supporters, obviously, still. Management word is like he hasn't won a playoff game in a while. I think Tomlin, if he actually can get into the playoffs and actually win a playoff game, he can solidify himself, but we'll see how that goes as well. They went a long way today to actually securing that, going back in first in the division today with the result. So, extremely, this is the NFL's. It could mark the end of one of the most respected, hard-fought coaching duels in the league. Totally think that these two guys are what they've done has been phenomenal. You look at a guy, 33 years old, Mike Tomlin, 33 years old when he was hired. Everybody thought this was crazy. He's a guy who played at a small college as wide receiver. He worked with Dungy, and he is just, when he's been able to do, is have a lot of respect for what he's done. He's been very average in recent years. And I think a lot of the fan base in Pittsburgh is ready to move on. Ravens. When you're 1-5 and you dig a hole for yourself like this is what you get. 1-5, this is what you get. You're going to have games now. Now you have tough games like this down the stretch where you're coming up on the short end. And now you're 6-7, and now you're looking at the playoff picture as well. You got some tough games now. You got to play Cincinnati, who, even though they lost today, they were giving Buffalo a fit. I mean, they were winning a lot of that game. The down the stretch, New England, I think, might be the best team in the NFL. Green Bay, you could say the same thing about them. Green Bay, one of the best teams in the league, and you got another game in Pittsburgh as well. So they're going to have to. Your margin for error is pretty much gone. I think Cincinnati did help them today because Cincinnati, that makes 9 losses. I kind of thought if they lost today, that was kind of so there's less to play for them. I don't think they're going to get in. But the Ravens now on the outside looking in the playoffs as well. Clearly, there isn't much difference between these two football teams. That's obvious. There isn't much difference. And this is kind of the norm is for this division. The Steelers and the Ravens. I think this is the closest, best rivalry in the NFL. Didn't go our way today, but it will if we're still around the next time. But fantastic stuff as well. I'm not going to bag on the offensive line today. I've been doing that. Been doing that every day. I don't know what you want to tell you about the line. But this could have went either way. That was kind of my bigger takeaway as well. Ravens just have to be tougher in these last stretch of games. It's not over. You can still win this division. We still have 3 games. The Steelers look good today, but they look like garbage next week. Like that's kind of what they've done. So that's the way it goes. And so we'll come back and try again against Pittsburgh down the stretch. A couple more games next week. The Bengals. We just had the Bengals on Thanksgiving night. We're gonna have the Bengals again next week as well. All right, guys, keep the faith. Say after the loss. Ravens get their 7th loss, 27-22. Steelers victorious down at M&T Bank Stadium as well. Questionable, just a terrible call. Isaiah Likely. Just one more time. That was just awful. Just plain awful calls. Couple breaks. The Aaron Rodgers, the knee down, the interception could have been an interception. I understand that one a little bit more, but just terrible, terrible stuff down the stretch. So thank you guys for joining us here with the Raven Sports Podcast as well. Well, we'll see you guys on Wednesday night for our regular podcast. You enjoyed the rest of your game.